What kind of strongman cancels every single public event the weekend the entire country finally notices he's slurring his words like a drunk uncle at last call, hides out at Mar-a-Lago while his own press secretary is frantically redacting his name from Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, and watches his congressional majority evaporate faster than his hairspray in a Florida hurricane? All while Marjorie Taylor Greene rage quits Congress screaming about being a battered wife and senior. Republicans text each other that the party is a tinderbox about to burn the whole house down. What kind of dealmaker brags about having the best people and then watches those same best people, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, take your pick, get openly threatened with the axe because the base now realizes they're just Instagram models with security clearances? And what kind of very stable genius spends the week before Thanksgiving threatening to hang Democratic senators for reminding troops they're not allowed to commit war crimes, only to wake up and discover his own Department of Justice just got caught trying to Photoshop his own name out of the Epstein files that Congress unanimously ordered released? Answer: the kind whose second term is collapsing in real time, in slow motion, high definition, delicious, popcorn-worthy collapse. And I have never been happier to narrate every excruciating second of it. Let's start with the weekend that broke the MAGA camel's back, because sweet Jesus, it was glorious. Friday, November 28th, 2025. The White House schedule drops. Lid called until Monday. Translation: Trump is gone. Vanished. No press, no events, no Marine One photo ops, nothing. Just the leader of the free world scurrying down to Palm Beach like a mob boss who just realized the feds finally flipped his driver. Why? Because the walls are closing in faster than his arteries. The New York Times finally ran the headline we've been begging for since 2023. Shorter days, signs of fatigue. Trump faces realities of aging in office. Aging in office. That's journalists speak for the guy is visibly decomposing on national television, and we can no longer pretend it's just the lighting. Inside the building, it's worse. Punchbowl News, the Bible of Capitol Hill scoops, drops a bomb that reads like a suicide note from the Republican conference. Senior House Republicans are texting that this entire White House team has treated all members like garbage, that more explosive early resignations are coming, that morale has never been lower, and my personal favorite, Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel, and they will lose the majority before this term is out. Kevin McCarthy. Yes, that Kevin McCarthy, the guy Trump knifed like Julius Caesar, goes on TV and calls Marjorie Taylor Greene the canary in the coal mine and predicts a mass retirement wave. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the woman who once said Jewish space lasers caused California wildfires. She's the sane one now. She's the one jumping ship, first screaming, "I'm not going to be a battered wife anymore." Let that sink in. The QAnon queen looked at Trump's second term and said, "Hard pass. I'd rather keep my pension and my dignity." And she's not wrong. The stories leaking out of the cloakrooms are apocalyptic. GOP members say the White House won't even let them announce tiny little grants in their districts anymore. No wins for anyone but Trump. One appropriator told Punchbowl, "They don't respond to agencies. They don't return calls. They threaten you if you complain." This is the dog that caught the car, except the car is on fire, the dog is rabid, and the driver is having a stroke at the wheel. Meanwhile, the Epstein files. Oh, sweet, sweet karma, the Epstein files. After a 427-1 vote in the House and unanimous consent in the Senate, the one time literally everyone in Washington agreed on something, the Epstein Files Transparency Act is on Trump's desk with a ticking clock. And what does his shiny new Attorney General Pam Bondi do? She files an emergency motion claiming ongoing investigations require redacting certain names. Guess whose name is reportedly on the redact list? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 involve Diet Coke and bronzer. The irony is so thick you need a chainsaw to cut it. The man who spent years screaming, "Lock her up," about Hillary's emails is now desperately trying to memory hole his own flights on the Lolita Express. The man who promised total transparency is using the same DOJ he weaponized against his enemies to protect, well, himself. And the best part? His own party forced the release. Republicans voted for it. Matt Gaetz voted for it. The Freedom Caucus voted for it. They all looked at the polling, saw that 78% of Americans want the files public, and decided political survival beats loyalty to a guy who once told teenage girls he'd be dating them in 10 years. And the base? The base is waking up. Tucker Carlson, yes, that Tucker, the guy who used to fellate Trump on air every night, went on his podcast and sounded like a man attending his own political funeral. Nothing I voted for happened. What about you? Are you happy with anything? Michael Savage, the OG shock jock who practically invented MAGA radio, is now openly mourning. The American worker is hurting badly. Donald, it will not go away. Even Nick Fuentes, the actual Nazi, is calling Trump a geriatric Zionist puppet. When you've lost the Nazis, brother, you've lost America. Back at Mar-a-Lago, Trump is reportedly in full meltdown. Sources say he's screaming at the TV, rage posting at 3 a.m., threatening to fire everyone from Bondi to Patel to Noam to Hegseth to the guy who cuts the grass if it's not green enough. One aide told Axios he's like King Lear on the Heath, except with worse hair and more Diet Coke. Another said staff are taking bets on who gets the axe first. My money's on Kristi Noem. Shooting a puppy is one thing, but failing to deliver South Dakota for a guy who lost it by 30 points? That's unforgivable. And the polls, oh the polls. They're catastrophic. Trump's approval is at 39%, the lowest of his presidency. Disapproval on the economy is higher than it was under Biden. Inflation ticked up to 3.1%. Grocery prices are still 25% higher than 2021, and the Thanksgiving dinner cheaper than ever. Life fell apart when the USDA admitted turkey was actually up 28% wholesale. Fox News ran a cheer-in that just said, OUCH. Even they can't spin this anymore. But the real killer? The midterms. Republicans are now openly saying they have no chance of holding the House in 2026. Internal modeling shows Democrats picking up 25 to 35 seats. The map is a bloodbath. Every suburban district Trump barely won in 2024 is now polling blue by double digits. The Dobbs backlash never went away, it just got angrier. And every time Trump opens his mouth about executive orders for birthright citizenship, or using the military on protesters, another 50,000 suburban moms register to vote Democratic. This is what collapse looks like. Not with a bang, not with impeachment, but with a slow, humiliating, utterly predictable implosion as every promise curdles, every ally flees, and every mirror finally shows the emperor exactly what he is: old, confused, and very, very alone. So tomorrow, when you're carving that turkey, which, by the way, cost 28% more thanks to Trump's genius trade policies, when your MAGA uncle starts whining about stolen elections and deep state, I want you to look him dead in the eye, smile the biggest, brightest, most unapologetic smile you've ever smiled, raise your glass, and say, I'm thankful for the total, complete, and utterly delicious collapse of Donald Trump's second term. Pass the gravy. Because folks, we're not just winning. We're feasting. And the best part? We're barely 30 days in.